Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video marks the beginning of the week number 64 in this road to 100k realized return challenge. And the week started pretty much in the opposite way and as the previous week ended. Again, due to comments by US President Donald Trump about the threat that he um, basically mentioned on Friday towards China about the massive quote unquote massive tariffs that he was going to impose on China in a retaliation for the restrictions on exports that China is currently doing. And apparently, the comments made over the weekend, basically, more specifically on Sunday, and you can see it in here, that apparently US President Donald Trump said trade relations with China, quote unquote, will all be fine. And this set the stage for a very, very positive day today. Most of the losses that occurred later in the day on Friday were completely reversed, and so the market is just more than halfway through the losses that reversed more than halfway through the more than half the losses that it had on Friday. And as a result of that, as you can see here, as for example for IWM, we had over the weekend the price at 236.29, and now it's just inching a bit upwards of 244 and 12. And the highest point in the session today was 244.70, so it was really close to our break-even point, which is the 245. And this really bodes well for us because most likely these options will expire worthless unless this stock will have a last gasp upward swing and finishes above 245. But even if it doesn't, tomorrow we can try and attempt to have a capital gain by selling calls with a strike price above 245, for example 246. And yeah, apparently this sort of behavior by the US president, which is very strange. I think this is not the correct way that a president such an important figure as the head of state of the most powerful economy in the world should behave. But yeah, this is what we have currently to cope with. And yeah, this is I think this is a bit borderline on market manipulation again, because you say something on one day and then said something that counters what you mentioned the day before. Um, this creates swings in the market that potentially create, I don't know, buying opportunities for some people in the know of these comments. I don't know, but this is something at minimum very odd, very fishy. But as we are at this point in the moment, we have still to wait and to see if these calls will expire worthless or not. And also, given the fact that this week a lot of financial companies are going to report their earnings, the implied volatility on XLF is high, much higher than usual. And so as you can see here, it's inching up or almost touching 19% implied volatility, whereas the historical volatility is roughly 12.5%. And so this was too good of an opportunity not only to, of course, sell the call on the break-even price for the 100 shares that we have on XLF, but it was also suitable for us to sell two puts with a $52 strike price. And we collected 30 cents on these puts, which is very good given the historical low volatility of XLF. That tells volumes about how much volatility is implied on the premiums of the options on XLF. And I select specifically the 52 strike price because if these puts are assigned, we get 300 shares, and the average price will be 52.5, and this will allow us then to sell calls at a lower strike price because our break even will be lower, and we'll be able to collect more premium, and at the same time it will make it more likely that we'll be able to ditch these these shares without having a capital loss. And yeah, it was good. Even the 53.5 strike call was sold at 20 cents a piece, and this is very, as you can see here, this is a very good premium for this ETF. But yeah, this will something that we can only see the outcome later in the week, because these options expire only on Friday. Also here, an interesting situation is that we set the price early on 13 cents on IWM calls. One was filled, one contract was filled, but the other 11 were not, and so we had to lower the price downwards to 10 cents per contract, 10 cents a share, in order to be able to fill the remaining order, the remainder of the order that we put in. And it was not the ideal, but as you can see, the premiums were low because the stock at the time was trading at around 241, 242. Yes, here, as you can see, it's around 241, 242 when we sold the the calls. But then it had a run up, but by this time a lot of the theta, or the time value, was already gone, so the option never went too much higher than the price at which we sold the options. As you can see here, it had a bit of a upward trend here up until 17, but then it came down, and here it almost never went above the 10 cents. So we made a good trade. We did not lose that much money on it, but yeah, this is basically what transpired. And so we will have to remain yeah, to wait and see what is going to happen with these options, and especially with this share price of IWM. But for the time being, this is all. Feel free to leave your comments in the comment section down below, and I'm also available on LinkedIn in case you need to ask me any questions about the challenge. And of course, feel free to also like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll reconvene at the end of the week to see how the trades panned out, and to see where we stand in terms of our progression towards the challenge now, towards the end of the challenge, now that we crossed the barrier of the 60k. And I'll see you there.